Governor Ron DeSantis. Governor, great to have you with us this afternoon. You know, I'm curious what you thought when you watched these scenes of a man on a motorcycle waving a Mexican flag going around one of these burnt out vehicles. And I should point out that some of the video we just were watching, and we'll pull it up again in a second, is the clearing of these destroyed, burnt out Waymo vehicles that are part of the Los Angeles fleet. Your reaction to that?
Well, it's odd that you will have people who are in violation of our laws being in this country illegally, and they are protesting and even taking it beyond that because the federal government's actually just trying to enforce the law. And they're even burning American flags, which is the country they supposedly want to stay in, and yet they're waving flags of foreign countries, which is the countries they refuse to return to. So this is really just an upside down world. But part of the reason they're doing this reaction is because I think in places like California, which are sanctuary states, they've developed almost like a sense of entitlement to just ignore federal immigration laws. They put illegal aliens on health care programs, give them driver's license. They basically have welcomed people to come into California illegally over many, many years. And that was all in violation of federal law. So President Trump and Tom Homan, they're doing what they were elected to do, which is to enforce the laws of the land. And I think that they're right to be able to have National Guard protect these federal law enforcement personnel who are coming under attack, protect the installations that are coming under attack. And yes, there is a point where the mayor of Los Angeles fails, the governor fails. So the president not only has a right, he has a duty to protect the American people when the state and local officials won't do that.
So what did you think of that back and forth between Gavin Newsome and Tom Homan? Tom Homan said, I don't think that Newsome and Bass have stepped over the line yet. But anyone who stands in the way of federal law enforcement certainly runs that risk.
Well, look, I think Newsome's begging for something like that because I think he can parlay that into sympathy with the left wing of the Democratic Party. But I think it's a symptom of how far left this party has done, where you have major Democrats standing on the side of illegal aliens that are torching vehicles and causing these riots, rather than standing with the men and women of law enforcement who are trying to do their jobs. And it's one of the reasons why the Democratic Party is struggling so much nationally, because of people like the mayor and people like the governor.
You know, we all remember what happened in Minnesota, and we remember the accounts that it was mostly peaceful as we watched them abandon the 3rd precinct in Minneapolis. The police drove out, and it was then taken over by protesters. But this soundbite that I want to play right now it begins with Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles. This is the way they're responding to what has been unfolding on their streets. Watch this.
There was a protest that got a little unruly late at night.
We are having an administration that's targeting peaceful protest scenes of people peacefully protesting.
There have been no violence where anybody that was protesting hit anybody, shot anybody, threatened anybody. Nothing has happened.
I mean, we certainly saw violence, to be sure. What about the reaction of President Trump? Do you agree with the federalizing of California National Guard in this situation, Governor?
Of course. The locals are supposed to handle this. Like in Florida, if we had something, we'd have sheriffs and police chiefs that would handle it, and mayors. And if they didn't do it, then I would come in as governor and we would make sure it happened. Well, in California, both state and local have broken down. So he has a right to do that. And I think President Trump has a duty to do it. It's interesting because the clips you played, that's part of the reason California's hemorrhaged population over these last few years. I can tell you the people that have flooded into Florida from Minnesota after those BLM riots, from California, from New York City. Yes, we were open during COVID. Yes, we have no state income tax. Yes, we have a lot of things going for us. But the number one reason people would give is public safety, because you've seen officials like that mayor turn her back on the law-abiding citizens. You've seen the governor side with the criminal element and let inmates run the asylum. And that really strikes at the heart of people's ability to live their lives and prosper and protect their families. So I am not surprised to hear that rhetoric. It's obviously delusional. People remember what happened in Minnesota. They remember when you have a CNN reporter standing in front of a fire saying it's mostly peaceful, that's gaslighting. And so I think a lot of people are not going to be gaslit by this, and you will continue to see people leave Southern California if this is the type of governance they're getting.
Yeah. There's an irony and just an odd situation when you have the governor of California asking the president to give him back control of his own National Guard, which he failed to use and employ to keep the streets safe. So there's a lot of upside down world, as you said, and people flying Mexican flags who, are part of this protest against deportation to Mexico. So go figure. Governor, thanks for helping us sort it out today. It's always good to see you, sir. Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.